25th, and I figured that I would record a little day in the life as an appointment setter on a $1 million a month offer. And this is the first month that the offer I'm on is actually going to do $1 million in a single month. And so I figured it would be cool to record a full day of what appointment setting on an offer this big and this successful actually looks like. And, if you are an appointment setter looking to get on a bigger offer, this will give you some insight on what that schedule each day actually looks like. And if you are looking, you've tried some stuff online in the past, not really sure what you are getting yourself into, this will give some insight on what, a day-to-day schedule actually looks like as an appointment setter. And so if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I am currently in the trenches phase, I guess you would say, as a copywriter, growth operator, whatever you want to call it. And I am trying to become a growth operator with a agency that does over 6 figures each month. And so currently, I spoke about it in my last couple videos, but I have one growth operating client. We actually just launched a new lead gen acquisition system. We've been doing it for 2 days and we've already booked 6 calls, which is pretty hype. Closed one of them so far, but my main kind of job that I'm working on right now is my appointment setting offer for this huge $1 million a month offer. And so tomorrow on Monday, May 26th, I'm going to record a full day in the life of what that actually looks like, what each hour is filled with. And so hopefully it'll be interesting for you guys. As I said, I am in the trenches phase right now. I just graduated from college in California. Sunday night, we're about to go for a little run, golden hour. And yeah, I lived with 13 other college frat dudes this whole year. I'll give you a little view of the house. And this is the first time in my life where I have nothing to do besides what I actually want, and that is to work and build my business. And so I'm in the trenches. I am all alone in this big house for the first time ever. And tomorrow we're going to get you a full day of what, actually goes into, working on this full time, being a full-time appointment setter, as well as I'll show you a bit about the work I do with my current growth operating client. Let's get it. Alrighty, we pretty much just wrapped up work for today. As I said, it's Sunday night, so we're getting ready for a big week ahead. I just wrapped up doing outbound for my growth operating client, as I talked a little bit about earlier. I'm not going to talk too much about that client. This is strictly going to be mainly for the setting offer that I'm on and what the full day looks like. But super stoked about this new evergreen acquisition system I made for my growth operating client. We are 3 days in and we've already booked 5 calls. 2 are for today, closed 1, and 1's more of a follow-up that he said he wants to get started in 2 weeks. So that's good news. But let me show you a little dabble into this new system. Here's the new CRM/tracker that I made for this client. And the KPI for this system is going to be 100 outbound a day. Right here, I felt generous, did 2 times the amount yesterday, but we were 3 days in. We're not going to be counting inbound. That's coming from reels and stories and whatnot, but super cool tracker. We want this ABR to be right around 2% with this system. So I'm going to let it run for a week, do the inputs for a week, and then reassess, see what needs to be tweaked and changed after 7 days. Hopefully it's all within KPI, but if not, we're going to tweak it and get those numbers up. And this system is just going to be for his setting process. In the next couple weeks, we are going to be building out his entire funnel and doing a lot more automations to really convert as much of his audience as we can and create a system where they can be nurtured. So I'm definitely going to be making more videos once we get all of that up and running. Well, I'm about a month in setting on this $1 million a month offer. And so I just wanted to give you a quick little recap of everything that's gone on since I started on this offer. I started on April 27th of last month. It's May 25th, so we're about a month in. I thought tomorrow would be a good day, Money Monday. Monday's usually the busiest day with lead flow for this offer, so it'll be a good day. Hopefully get some closes on the board. But yeah, I I've been averaging probably the past 2 months, probably 12 hours a day on the computer. So I started wearing blue light glasses because the screen is frying my brain so don't flame me. But here are my stats for the past month. We have 85 sets on the board, 58 calls taken. So the show rate is not great, but that got fixed in the first week or so. I have generated $39,750 in cash collected for this offer over the past about a month. And so this was all while I was still in school. I had finals. I had a week of graduation. So I'm hoping over the next month, when I'm literally just locked in, that these numbers are going to go up significantly. And so tomorrow, I have a good amount of calls on the board, a good amount scheduled already. And so let me show you. So here's the lineup for tomorrow. I blurred out the emails just for confidentiality and whatnot, but a good amount of leads that I've already set that I just need to confirm to set up to be closed. And I also have a bunch of calls scheduled for throughout the day. As I said, the lead flow is heavy on Mondays, so we're just going to be firing. And I'm hoping it'll be a good day. We'll get a lot of cash collected, a lot of commission for myself, and it should be a good day in the life to watch for being a setter on this offer. So in my last video, I kind of asked if it would be helpful to make a video on what appointment setting is, how to get into it, what it actually entails. Got a few responses that said that would be helpful, but just to give you some context before we get into the busy day of setting tomorrow. In my opinion, you can disagree with me. There's 3 types of setting. There's cold setting, where you're strictly just cold messaging people on Instagram or have an email list of scraped leads that you're cold messaging, cold emailing. There is somewhat warm appointment setting, where you're going into a creator or offer owner's social media account and you're messaging people that follow them. So, they're somewhat warm. They could be interested in buying the offer. They could be, in your ICP, but you're just messaging all of those people. And then there is extremely warm appointment setting, phone setting. And that is what I do for this $1 million a month offer. They have thousands of leads coming into their ecosystem each day, whether that's applications for the offer, whether that's opt-ins for free trainings or lead magnets, and you're just going in and calling all of these very warm. How I like to think of it is speed dating. So with setting, you have a bunch of prospects coming in that may or may not be good fits for the offer. And so you are trying to go through as many of them as you can, learn a little bit about them, and if they're qualified for the offer, you'll then send them to the actual date, which is just the call that they will, hopefully be closed on. All right, it is 11 p.m. on this Sunday night. We went a little longer than usual. Sundays are usually my day that I sleep in a little and hopefully get to bed earlier, but today we had a little to do, so had to grind it out. But we're gonna wrap up. We will see you bright and early for Money Monday. Let's get it. Been doing this for a month, and it still sucks every morning. So the agency growth operator, whatever you want to call it, that runs this offer, whose sales team I'm on, they have 9 a.m. huddles Monday through Saturday, and they are in Miami. So that means 6 a.m. huddles for me Monday to Saturday. So that is why I get up at this time. I probably would not be up at this time if I didn't have to do that, to be fully honest. So we just wrapped that up. We're gonna do some dials for about the next 2.5 hours till we have our Money Monday LLC meeting, which is 9 a.m. Pacific on Mondays, 12 a.m. Eastern. So I'll show you a little bit of that as well. Just got off the first set of the day. It was about a 10-minute call with a pretty good prospect, 3K budget. So we set him up for 9 a.m. tomorrow. Unfortunately, not for today, but that should be a close. All right, second call of the day, second set, going pretty well. One thing that's been really helpful for me is learning how to treat every lead like they are a PIF, a paid in full. And so like usually if I hear thick accent or I see a weird name, I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't have the budget. He's not going to close. I got to get off the phone with him as quick as I can. But once again, this guy proved me wrong. Thick accent. Thought he's not going to have it. Turns out $3K budget. Put him through. We booked him for a call at 9 a.m. So hopefully that's another close incoming. Another pending set for the boy. We'll check back in later. Hopefully that's a green bean. 3K budget for 6 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully another close. Come on. All right, we just got our third set for later today. Pretty good start to the morning. This sales team is pretty incentivized. There's a lot of bonuses based on different scenarios. And so since we're about to cross the 1 mil mark for this month today, there is a bounty out. The setter who brings in the lead to get us over that 1 mil mark gets a 12% comm on that deal. I got someone on the phone right now with a closer. They're about to pay. And I'm hoping that is the deal that gets us across that 1 mil mark. We get 12% comms if this deal closes. So fingers crossed. Bang! First close of the day, 2,600 cash collected, 5,200 revenue generated. So we got 2.6K on the board for today. 3 pending sets, 1 confirmed set that just closed. Shout out my boy Davin, the closer I've been rocking with recently. We have a good system going. Past 4 sets I've given him have all been green. The third one had some bank friction yesterday, so it didn't quite close yet, but we'll get it. But yeah, let's go. Bank, another pending set. That's 4 on the day. 5K budget for this guy. Call at 7 p.m. PST. Should be green. Alrighty, wrapping up the first session of the day. A little 2.5 hour ski. We are sitting at 2 sets, 5 pending sets, and 2.6K cash collected. Great start to the morning, if you ask me. I'm going to be trying to set a PR today for most sets, most dials, and most cash collected. So this can be a really exciting video for you guys. We'll obviously see if that happens at the end. But right now it is 9 a.m. PST, 12 p.m. Eastern. It is Monday. Time for Money Monday. This is the weekly Monday meeting for the growth operator, the agency owner that this offer is created by. And so I'll give you a little sneak peek of that. I'm sure some of you know who he is. All right, here we go. Money Monday. Alrighty, we just banged out about 4.5 hours of work. I've been trying to get off the computer since 9:30 to eat breakfast. It is 10:30 right now, but the lead flow was pretty dank, and we just kept getting calls and had to follow up with people. We are currently at 3 sets. 2 of them are happening right now, so hopefully at least one of them closes to get some more cash collected for the day. We have 5 to 6 pending sets for the rest of the day, so should be an exciting rest of the day. I am going to go chef breakfast and follow up and do some outbound for my growth operating client. And then we'll get back on the phone around 11. We'll get for this offer. Alrighty, 10:45. We got the first meal of the day. All right, it is about 12 p.m. Got an open calendar until 1. So I'm gonna get a quick little workout in. Monday's usually my rest day, but I feel like I'm really hyper right now. But yeah, we're gonna get a quick little pump in before the calls start again at 1 p.m. It is a cloudy day here in South Central LA. This row is usually filled with cars on both sides, but it is now summer and everyone is gone. It's like a ghost town around here. Current setup that we are working with. Alright, just got home from the gym. Had to be home at around a little before 1 for that next call. It should be a pretty action-packed afternoon. We got, I think, 6 calls coming up, 5 or 6 set calls. We had 3 so far. 1 closed, 1 signed the contract, and then just payment dipped and didn't close, so we'll be following up with him. Hopefully get a close there. And the third guy was just broke, so that didn't close. But yeah, I feel like when everyone goes through the YouTube rabbit hole before they start an online business, I did it. I'm sure a lot of you have done it. Like, I feel like I saw a lot of people say, like, you have to go through this period of, being alone to really lock in and get some traction. And I've went from the complete extreme opposite of being alone to living with 13 other college kids in one house to being absolutely alone by myself. I haven't talked to anyone in 5 days. And I already see the insane difference of how much more I'm getting done, how much more I'm locked in. And so I feel like that's just to say I feel like that's definitely accurate. Not really that I wasn't getting a lot done when I was living with my 12 roommates, 13 roommates, and still being in college. But there were so many distractions. Living with that many people, obviously you're gonna be constantly distracted. There's gonna be constantly things to do, temptations to lose your focus and whatnot. So since I've been alone, I have been so much more productive in, within each hour of work that I'm doing, and I'm spending more hours each day doing work. So instant improvement. Definitely feel like this period of being alone was much needed. And excited to see what happens. I have 2 months of this. So I'm really stoked to see what's gonna happen over the next 2 months if I can stay just dialed, locked in. Also gonna show you some live calls coming up this afternoon to give you a sense of what those actually look like. Okay, gotcha. And I guess, what would kind of be the goal here working with the team to, help you get this business off the ground as efficiently as we can?
Just having some guidance, like someone that's been doing it.
Okay, for sure. That makes sense. And, I guess if we could help you get to that 3K a month mark with this business and scale from there, I'm sure that you're aware, working with the team to help you do so with all the resources and mentorship that they provide to help you get this business off the ground as efficiently as possible. How much capital do you kind of have set aside at the moment to put towards something like this, if everything were to make sense, of course? What I can do is send you over some resources to check out, and if you feel like this is something that can help you. Yeah, for sure. And are you pretty new to online business, or have you tried some stuff in the past, or what does that look like? Just like any other business, there is a certain amount of startup capital involved there. So, hypothetically speaking, if everything we go over does make sense. And my best prospect for today just rescheduled to tomorrow. Not that worried about it. We'll probably close him tomorrow, but wanted to get that one on video. Oh well, we have 3 more promising leads set up for today. We're still going to keep dialing to hopefully get a few more. So yeah, we had 4 calls so far, closed 1. 1 is a follow-up and 1 is still going on. We'll see how that goes. And we have 3 calls left for today that are scheduled, 2 for my growth operating clients. So hopefully we get at least 1 of them. So we still have some promising activities to come. All right, here's what we got chefed up for lunch. The meal plan burgies. Shout out my coach, Sean Mason. Actually though, shout out Sean Mason. He's a men's fitness and health coach. And he was my first ever client when I first started the copywriting business. And I worked for him for free, got a dope case study that helped me to actually get my first paying client. Shout out him. He got from 0 to 20K in about 3 months, I think it was, with his business. So he's a beast. Go check him out if you need to lose weight. And we're finna go eat outside, get some sunlight, get away from the screen because my head hurts. Alrighty, we just finished up doing our daily outreach for the new acquisition system for the growth operating client that I talked about, but this video is not about that. Before that, did a few more hours of setting. We had a lot of, stuff on the table today. I thought it was going to be a great day. Had a lot of great leads in the pipeline, getting ready to hop on calls. And it just did not go according to plan. We had like 8 calls set up. We had some reschedules from good leads that are going to end up taking calls tomorrow. But right now we have 5 sets on the board, 2 closes. The first set was 2,600 cash collected. Second set was 480 cash collected. That was a depot. He's going to come back in a few days to finish off his payment. So today we are sitting at $3,080 cash collected. We have 1 more good prospect who has a call in about an hour. Hopefully he closes. Unfortunately, we had another reschedule from a good prospect. So we should have a lot of, cash coming in over the next few days with these leads that rescheduled. But it's just a bummer that it's not all today when I'm filming the whole day. But that just goes to show you, in this space, a lot does not go according to plan. You have to adjust, think on the fly, adjust very quickly, and be accommodating for leads if they are good and qualified leads. So some good stuff to come in the next couple days. My brain is absolutely fried right now after staring at the screen for basically the whole day at this point. So I'm going to go outside, take a little break, and then we're going to get back to it in probably like an hour or so. I'll keep you updated on how the rest of the day goes. Little dinner. All right, a little evening walk after dinner. Just set the last call for the day, probably going to be the last call for the day. As I said, we are sitting at 3,080 cash collected for the day. So this call will pretty much make or break how good the day is. I'll keep you updated on how that goes. As I said, a lot did not go to plan today, a lot of rescheduling. So gonna have some more cash collected, some good leads coming in tomorrow. So I'll do a quick little recap after tomorrow at the end of this video, just see, what could have been today. But yeah, we're pretty much wrapping up for the night for the setting offer. It is 9:15 right now, and today was a very mentally draining day, to say the least. On paper, at the beginning of the day, we had a great day set up, and it seemed like everything kind of just fell apart. In terms of stats for the day, we had 100 dials on the dot, 100 outbounds, and that's KPI. So, I can't be mad. I did put in the inputs, and eventually the outputs will come. Today was just not our day. We had 100 dials, like I said. We had 5 sets. We had almost 10 sets that were set up. 5 sets that were actually scheduled, 100% show rate, and a 40% close rate. We closed 2 of the guys. Neither of them were PIFs, paid in full, so we'll be collecting the rest of the cash later this week. So on the bright side, we got some cash coming in the next few days. We finished at $3,080 cash collected for this offer. And while it seemed like things did not go our way today, we still made some progress. We still got some cash on the board. And we have, some great leads that had to reschedule, set up for tomorrow and the next day. So that's something to look forward to. For the other offer, we had a DQ right before the call, and then we had a no-show. So it's just a pretty rough day across the board. Obviously, with the new acquisition system for the growth operating offer, bright side, we're getting calls booked. We are seeing leads coming in, and we'll make adjustments and tweaks as we see fit. But in terms of a takeaway for today, today just goes to show that things don't always go to plan. This game is a constant mental battle. You can't control what you can't control. All you control is, making sure that you are putting in the inputs each and every day, and the outputs will eventually come. You can't control what's going on in the prospects' lives, what's going on in their heads. You can't make them buy at the end of the day. They have to want to, and they have to show up with at least somewhat of an intention to buy. And of course, you can't control that. So, like I said, keep putting in the inputs. The outputs will come. This game is a constant mental battle. I find myself every day asking, is this worth it? Would it be easier to just go with, the corporate job I have set up and just take the easy route, work a 9 to 5, get paid decent money? And obviously, no, that's not the answer. But that thought just always creeps in my mind when things aren't going my way. Like I said, today just goes to show, sometimes when you do the work, when you put the inputs, the outputs do not follow. But on the bright side, the offer hit $1 million this month. That is super cool to be a part of. We had 5 sets on the board. That's more than usual. And we had 2 closes. So looking to tomorrow, positive mindset, fresh day, ready to do it all over again. I'm going to show you the stats at the end of the day. Hopefully we have some more cash collected. It's also tough. Today I feel like I worked the entire day on the big setting offer as well as for my client. And working on a huge offer like this with this many leads coming in takes a ton of time and a ton of inputs that obviously take up my time and take away from building my own personal business. And so while I do make time for the client that I have right now to try and get them, the best results that I can with the systems I'm building for him, I don't have all the time in the world to work for him. I'm working for someone else. And at the end of the day, I am working for someone else, for another agency, for another offer. So it's always, another thing going back and forth in my head. Is it worth it to try and, learn the skills and get that experience under my belt in this specific space, working on a very successful offer? Or would it be more worth it to just outreach to build my own business and get my own book of clients off the ground? So yeah, that's just another thing to think about at the end of the day. Like I said, signing off for tonight, gonna go edit this video for an hour or so and then hit the hay. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with the stats from tomorrow to compare them to today. Hopefully we do better. But thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I'll add those stats right after this. All right, boys, it is one day later, end of the day on Tuesday, May 27th, and today was an even crappier day than yesterday. The morale is at an all-time low. Watch some What is the Meaning of Life podcast on YouTube today. That's where we're at. We finished the day at 1,700 cash collected, and that was from a lead we already closed. We were just waiting on payment. We finished the day with 3 sets, 66% show rate, and 0% close rate. The 2 calls were very promising. They just did not go our way. We are finishing up editing this video. It is 11:13. We're about to head to bed, and we're going to check back in tomorrow because tomorrow should be a better day. Hopefully at least 5-6K cash collected. See you in 24 hours. We're back here. It's Wednesday night, last day of the video. It's about 8:15 p.m. We're going to wrap up here in about an hour or so. Today, thank the Lord, was a much better day than the past couple days. Monday and Tuesday took a beating on the mental, so we needed this today. For the stats today, we had 7 calls on the board, 7 sets. One of them had to be rescheduled because the closer's call right before ran a little long, so we got them rescheduled to tomorrow. 6 calls set for today. 100% show rate. We closed 2 of them for $1,800 each. And then we had 1 follow-up payment from a close last week. So each of the 2 closes today, $1,800 cash collected plus $750 from that follow-up payment brings us to $4,350 cash collected today. And then from the 2 deals we closed today, we had 10.8K revenue generated. So those payments will be coming in the coming weeks. As I said, much better day today. Great for the mental. If you're still here till the end, I appreciate it. Hope you got some value out of this video, whether that's some insight on what a day in the life of an appointment setter on an offer this big actually looks like, or if you're just checking it out to see if, this is even a space you want to get into. Hopefully you got some insight. There's definitely ups, there's downs. But when you have a few days that don't go your way, you're down in the dumps. The days like today feel a lot better. It wasn't the best day. It could have been a lot better, but it was a good day. I'll take the win when it comes. Just to sum up the past 3 days that are included in this video, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we did a total of 16 sets and a total of $9,130 cash collected. That's a kind of mid 3-day span. As I said, really crappy Monday, Tuesday. Today, rebounded slightly. A good 3-day span would probably be around 15K cash collected. But yeah, that's just give you some context on what a bad 3-day period would look like, what a good 3-day period would look like. If you have any questions that you want to ask, feel free to hit me on Instagram. I'll link my account in the bio. I'm happy to help and answer any questions there. If you have anything with regards to appointment setting that you think would be helpful to make a new video on, feel free to comment that. But like I said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.